just found out about this shit. It just happened. I haven't even had a second to process. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew, and he missed! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed! There was a white man attached to that trigger. I know it! We were a centimeter away! Oh!
You missed.
Alright guys, welcome to the channel, America's Reality 360. Now everybody knows what's going on with President Trump, okay? I put out a video earlier with some of the latest updates. So with this video, I kind of want to show where the rhetoric's going, what the reactions are. And as you saw in the beginning, we already have leftists all over TikTok. That was just one of many videos, and they're freaking out that it wasn't a successful job, okay? And the mainstream media. So of course they're gonna take a day maybe to show some sympathy and act like they care, because they kind of have to do that, right? But we're going to show you how they're already doing what they would call victim blaming and saying it's kind of President Trump's fault and his supporters by the words they use and the way they talk. So what we're going to do is we're going to show some examples of Democrats and the rhetoric they spread around and the inflammatory things they say, and then you can make your own decision on who's really spreading the hatred around and who's really saying things that are dangerous for other people to hear. All right, so we're going to jump right into it. Let's do a little reminder of what Democrats been saying over the past couple years. All right, check this out.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
All right, guys, so you heard that, right? That's the stuff the left's been saying over the past few years, okay? And what have we seen over the past few years? We had the BLM riots of 2020. They tried to call it the Summer of Love, okay? They went around and burnt down a bunch of cities, caused like $2 billion worth of damage. Some police officers died, like 12 innocent black people died. They claim to care about that, but they never said anything about it, right? They don't really report on it. They did say fiery, but mostly peaceful riots, okay? We also seen Antifa burning down churches. You know, they storm Capitol buildings, like state Capitol buildings and stuff, and the media just brushes it under the rug. They don't want to talk about it, and that's what they're doing here with this story. So now they kind of want to brush this under the rug, and this is, I would say, just as dangerous as the, you know, the inflammatory rhetoric. It's kind of burying the facts, burying the truth. They're just as good at doing that. So we have some examples here. Let's see what they're reporting on in the papers, some of the big names, and let's see how they characterize what happened yesterday to President Trump. Check it out.
And CNN initially downplayed it on their front page, with a headline reading that Trump just fell at the rally. Washington Post said the shots were just loud noises. So NBC News, USA Today, and the Los Angeles Times all marched in lockstep to call an assassination attempt loud noises. But this is pretty much on brand with fiery but mostly peaceful.
All right, so as you see there, they're already trying to downplay the story, change a little bit of the facts here and there, and they hope that people just do what we call drive-by media, where you just see the big headline and you go on with your day and you think that's what actually happened. We're also seeing tweets like this one where, like I was saying, they're going to act like they're sympathetic, they're going to act like they care, but then they'll end it like this. The extremism from the MAGA regime has brought us to this moment. Really, guys? Really? See, they cannot help themselves. And I'm going to show you where they're already saying it on the mainstream media as well. Check it out right here.
I want to say there was one thing that when I watched the tape, I found odd because of all of the heated rhetoric. And that is that after he was hit, former President Trump got up and said, fight, fight, fight. I think what we're hearing from people is That's not the message that we want to be sending right now. We want to tamp it down.
Of course, and we're talking about this, politicians are often the victims of this. They're the first victims of it. There's also, of course, politicians who are ramping this up, who are building a narrative of them and us, who are building outside groups and inside groups, who are building a politics where violence does become more likely. As I talked about this morning in the context of Donald Trump, let's be 100% clear that the attack on him was outrageous, completely unacceptable, and there is zero justification for it. But let's also be very clear that he has consistently incited and inflamed political violence himself, whether that's the January attacks on the Capitol or his wider demeanor towards protesters in the audience. He has sullied our politics. So yes, I feel sympathy. I feel pain for the fear that his family must have felt at that moment. And I feel real fear for the American political system. And that attack was clearly and utterly wrong. But he also has some culpability in creating an environment where violence is more likely.
All right, you see, guys, this is exactly what I'm talking about. They say, we have sympathy for the families, but this is a tragic situation, but it's actually Donald Trump's fault, and it's his supporters because they're the hateful ones. They're the mean ones. They're the ones with the hateful rhetoric. Really, let's look at the trending topics on Twitter yesterday. We have one job. How do you miss? And they missed. This is crazy leftists freaking out and all mad that Donald Trump's still breathing, okay? But it's the Trump supporters. They want you to believe that Trump supporters are the hateful, racist, insurrectionists, the threat to democracy, right? We're the ones that are so bad. Okay, so I'm going to show you two Trump supporters who were there yesterday who sacrificed themselves to save other people. And this, I think, it shows you what a real Trump supporter is. So check these two guys out. They are heroes, true heroes.
That's exactly where I heard him come from.
What did you see, sir?
I heard the shots. I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around and was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood, and he had brain matter there. And so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. So I got people there really helpful. I got
Was there
him
only
up
one
on the
person
bench.
shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person?
I was the only one
You
that
guys,
did
we
it.
need to evacuate everybody.
See what I'm talking about? True hero. We have another one right here. Check it out.
One man describes helping law enforcement carry the body of the victim who was shot and killed by the gunman.
The state police and a SWAT team, started evacuating the bleachers, and then I helped carry the man out of the bleachers to a tent that was behind the bleachers.
You helped carry the man yourself. What was his condition when you were carrying him?
He's deceased. He died.
How close were you to him?
A couple yards. I mean, it wasn't very far.
Did you know the man?
No, it's a complete stranger.
You see that, guys? A complete stranger. Both of these gentlemen jumped into action. They did not know what was going on. Okay, I already see some leftists. This video is getting longer than I wanted. I'm not going to show everything I wanted to, but there's already people, like famous people, saying how this was a setup and it was fake, and they know because they're from Hollywood. No, I seen a video from Pastor Driscoll. I was going to show that too, but we don't really have time. But check out his channel on YouTube. He has a sniper come on who tells you exactly what kind of firearm he assumed it was just by hearing it and just by his knowledge in the military. And he said it was 100% a silencer was used. That's why the shots weren't as loud as you may think. And yeah, 4th of July just passed, so I can understand some people thinking it was fireworks, but these guys didn't care. They jumped right in. Then they saw, people bleeding out, and they did not care. They did what they had to do to help the people that were around them. And that's what a Trump supporter is. Selfless, probably Christians, okay? And even if they're not Christians, they're just caring. They have love for their fellow Americans, something the left has been trying to stop, and they want to divide us, and they want us to hate this country, but Donald Trump wants to unify us and put America first. That's why they hate him so much. And I just wanted to show you, these are real Trump supporters. So remember that when you hear these leftists talking about the evil Nazi Trump supporters. All right, so before we wrap this up, and we are going to wrap it up on a good note, we have a guy who's like a prophet, and he gives some kind of prophecy. This was months back, and it's extremely accurate to what we're seeing today. All right, but first, I just want to show you a little contrast again, just real quick to remind you what the left has been saying for years. Check it out one more time. This one's short.
I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Too many see the protests as the problem. Please, show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Go to the Hill today. Get up in the face of some Congress people.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
Running away from Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
When they go low, we kick.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
All right, so there it is, clear as day, undeniable at this point, right? The left, they're the ones that have been spreading the hateful rhetoric, promoting violence, trying to divide us along political lines. They tell their supporters to get in the faces of the Trump supporters, make sure they know they're not welcome. They say things like, I wish I would have punched Trump in the face, or I'm gonna punch Trump in the face, or you should punch Trump in the face. And they'll even say things as far as, you should do exactly what someone tried to do yesterday. All right, so I don't want to hear it anymore from these people. Don't let them fool you, okay? They are not the peaceful ones. They are not the tolerant ones. They are not the ones that are trying to bring unity in the country. Not at all, okay? They always try to act like they have the moral high ground. They don't even know where morals come from. They don't believe in the Bible. So no, don't let them trick you, okay? They are clearly the bad guys, and we are the good guys trying to save America, all right? Now, as I promised, we're going to end this on a positive note, okay? Speaking of the Bible, if you're a Christian, you may know about prophecy and how there's been prophets in the past who come and they tell of things that may happen in the future. And when those things do end up happening, that's how they become what we know as a prophet. All right. I'm not talking about the quacks that say, you know, the world's going to end in 12 years because of climate changes. Not that. All right. That's just dumb. But I'll give you a great example right here. We have a gentleman who people are saying may be a prophet, because what he predicted a few months back seems to be coming true today. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Let's see what this guy has to say. Check it out.
All throughout America, all throughout, and I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame, and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame. I'm talking, people say he's saved now, but he becomes really on fire for Jesus, for what I saw coming. And then I saw people interceding when I saw him winning the presidency through great. The Lord showed me it would go clear into the summer. Great persecution would come on him through the judges and through the law and all these people trying to sue him and all this stuff. But there would be a stop to it, and there things would start to break free come toward the fall. And then I saw him winning the election through the Patriots coming out and voting. And
all right, guys, there it is. Pretty spot on. Now let's just hope the entire prophecy comes true, right? Especially that end part. So we're going to wrap up the video here. A little longer than I wanted. Sorry about that. I'm working on getting them shorter. But before we go, I did want to show you, this is the first footage of President Trump coming back from the hospital. All right, so he is okay now. But we do want to pray for him and his family, and we want to pray for all the families involved. All right, the left will say, oh, thoughts and prayers, that's a cliche, that's stupid, that's a waste of time. No, we know that's wrong. All right, it's very important to pray, and these are our fellow Americans. So let's just make sure we take some time to pray for their families, make sure they're all right, okay, in the coming days. We have some people still in the hospital, maybe some injuries we don't even know about yet. All right, now Let us know what you think about the video down in the comments, okay? What do you think about the left's rhetoric? Do you think they're going to amp it up in the future? Do you think we may see some political violence, just any kind of violence going on in the country? Let us know what you think, all right? And I really appreciate you being here. Thanks for spending your time with us. Check back for more videos soon. I'll be posting pretty much every day, and I'll definitely be updating on this story as I hear more. All right, and like I said, thanks again, guys. I appreciate you being here on America's Reality 360, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, later.